Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing great this day. I want to work with you on code.org's lesson 20. That's mini project. That's a side scroller. So we're going to get together and I will show you how to build this game and then how to change it quickly to make it your own. I'm going to get rid of my video right here so we can get that out of the way. And let's go ahead and start building, shall we? So I'm just going to show you real quick. This is the game that code.org has set up for us to build. I can see that I'm trying to catch the flies. And I'm trying to stay away from these the mushrooms. And if you look up there, I've got a score and I've got a health. And as I catch flies, my health goes up. And as I touch the mushroom, my health goes down. So score up for the flies, life down for the mushrooms. So let's go ahead and see what happens if I touch that mushroom too long, I get this game over screen. All right, so let's go ahead and get started on building this. Now, code.org has done a great job for us. I'm going to jump over to this level 2. You could just hit finish there if you wanted. And let's see what they got. So they tell us, go ahead and start with our background, okay? So it says, the sample game has a simple background of a blue sky, a white oval cloud, and brown ground. Okay, you can choose to make your background as simple or complicated as you want. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and do that. It says find the comment where it says background, and let's just draw our background in there. So here we go. I'm going to get rid of those instructions. I'm going to get rid of that. It's just telling us that we're going to continue to build this game all the way across this. And if we look, I've already kind of put a background in here. I've even already kind of built some of this game. But you know what? That's all right, because I'm going to erase it real quick. So here we go, version history. And let's see, I'm going to go down to the very bottom where it says start over. There we go, we're starting over. Get that out of there. All right, background right here. It says draw the background and draw the ground and other backgrounds. So here we go. I'm going to start with my background. And I want sky blue. Let's check that. See what all's in here. Okay. So we went sky blue for our background. We're going to want some ground. Now, if I look at theirs, they had two little bumps. But you know, I don't think I really want to do that for mine. I think I just want a simple rectangle. So here we go. How do I get my rectangle to have a color? I want that fill to be brown, right? So what do I got to do first? If I remember back, they said we got to do our color first, right? Just think of it like a paintbrush. We can't paint anything if we don't get our paint first. I want brown paint, and I'm going to draw not any ellipse, I'm going to draw a rectangle, simple rectangle. Now, if I look, this is my X and my Y, so where it's going to start and then how big it is. So I want it to start all the way at 0 for my X. And I want it to go all the way across this screen. And I can see that's 400. I'm just going to hit reset run, see what we got here. I got a variable score is defined. That's okay. Why am I not seeing anything show up? I should still see that. Brown. Oh, I put it too low. So my X is 0. So if I want to check this real quick, 200, 200, puts everything right in the center, right? Boom, there it is. Now I want to take my X over to 0 because I want it all the way over there. So now it's all the way over. I want my Y to get stretched out. And if we look on here, if we look at our, where is my rectangle? There it is. My width and height. So my Y is going to go all the way across, 400. Let's hit run. And it's at 200, 200. Well, I'm going to put my width 50. It is not liking the 400 because I keep putting it too low. I need to put it to like 350. There we go. Now it's showing. My width is 50. And my, let's see, make sure, my height, my width, I want 400. I want it to go all the way across. Boy, I'm getting a slow start here, aren't I? And it's 200 wide right now. It's just going down under the screen. I'm just going to make that 50 so that it fits there. There we go. Now we got the ground drawn. Ooh, that's an ugly color brown, but let's see. If I don't do brown, let's do tan. I like that color much better. And if you don't like the line around it, you see how there's kind of a line around it? If you don't like that line, it's easy to get rid of. I can just do no stroke. And now that line's gone. If that was bugging you, easy way to get rid of that. Now, my sky blue is not showing. Let's see if it's supposed to be one word. Oops. Sky blue. See what happens. There we go. One word, not two. So we're doing pretty good. Now let's put any lips up here, or that cloud, okay? Now, I want my X position to be over here. I'm going to start at 0 for my X. I want my Y to be about, we'll go 50. That puts it up towards the top. Now this is, if I look over here, my width, and I don't want it to be too wide. We're going to go with, I don't know, 75. Reset run, you can see it there. Ooh. Don't know if I'm liking it looking like that, but it's very tall. And our height. Oh, look what I did again. I got my width and height messed up. I want my width to be 75, or my width to be 75. And my height, we're going to do 100. Let's see. Oh yeah, not happening, right? That looks more like a circle. Let's go with 70. Whoa. And let's go with 100. Still going to look like a circle, but now it's getting longer. Do you see that? So now we're just going to take this to 200. Oh, see that 20,000 pop up on there? There we go. I'm liking it, but I'm not loving it. I think I want to go maybe like 275 or 270. I'm liking that better. I don't like the color, right? Remember, if we want to change our color, we just go to fill. I'm going to put it right down here in between the two, and then not yellow. We want, oh, white's not on there, but I want a nice white fluffy cloud. All right, reset run. There we go. I think I can live with that. Maybe I'll move it over a little bit from 0. Oops, I'm on my ellipse from 0. I think I'm going to go about 50 over. That way you can see that the cloud starts to change shape. See how it's got more of that ellipse in there. I like that. Looks pretty good. So we did pretty much everything we wanted. So we're going to hit the finish button. And we're going to keep working. All right. So our next step, what do they got us doing? It says create your sprite. Next, create the sprites you will use in your program. Okay, it says we'll need the frog. We'll need a target. So we got our player, which is the frog. We got a target. That's what we're trying to get. That's the fly. We've got an obstacle, the mushroom. And I'm going to tell you, it's really important that we use the words player, target, and obstacle as our sprite names. And the reason for that is we can change the image really quick, but it's hard to rename all our variables. And you'll see that later. I will show you why we're going to do that. So here we go. We're going to get our frog on the screen. So I'm going to grab went into my sprite tab. Okay. So just that pink sprite tab there. The first one is our player. So we got our player in, and right in the middle of the screen right now is perfectly fine. Now, I've got him. I need to give him an image. I need to set his animation, right? What is he going to look like? So our sprite's name is player, and he's going to look like a frog. And you can see that they already gave us these preloaded animations. Later on, I'll show you how to add some other animations as well. But reset run. There he is. Very important we have that draw sprite in here, right? Otherwise, he wouldn't have drawn to the screen. So we've got our frog on the screen. I'm going to go back up to our code for our frog. I like everything but where he's sitting, right? We need to put him down onto the ground. So I think for my X position, I'm going to move him back a little bit. We're going to go to 150. Run, you can see move back, and I'm going to set him down here. I'm going to set him at 349. We'll see how that looks. I believe he's going to be a little too low, but you know, I don't mind him looking like there's a little bit of background behind him, but I think he is too low. So I'm going to go to 300 and see what that looks like, okay? Oh, too high. I'm going to set 320. There we go. I can live with 320. He's sitting down on the ground. So it says we got to get them in there. So it says go to the animation tab. Make sure you have your images. I showed you them in there. You have the frog, the mushroom, and the fly. Okay. We are going to do game setup. It says create the 3 sprites, the player, the target, and the obstacle. And set one. Okay, set each animation. So we did that. Scale each one to the size you want. I think the frog's the perfect size right now. Place them where you want on the screen. We just did that. Set the starting X velocity of the target and obstacle. Well, we're not going to do that quite yet. We'll do that at the end. So now, let's go get, if I look at this, it says our target, right? Right there. We need to do our target. So I'm going to go ahead and get my target, which we talked about already, is our fly. There we go. This is our target. I'm just going to put him at 200, 200 right now just to make sure he shows up. His name is Target, and he looks like a fly. Reset run. There he is. Okay, I'm happy with him there. But to start the game, we usually don't want him starting in the screen. So I'm going to put him over here at like, my Y is going to be like a let's go to 420. So when I do this, he should be over here off the screen. Yep, he's gone. Okay, I'm happy with that. He is on there now. Okay, we can go ahead and give him a velocity of x because we want him going across the screen. So our target has a velocity. Now, if I look at this, I want him going from the right to the left across the screen. And I always get mixed up on, is this a positive? Is it a negative? The easiest way to tell is I'm just going to take my cursor and kind of trace the path he would do. And I can see that the X is moving down. So it's getting smaller. So I know that's got to be a negative then. And I'm going to give him a -3. I don't know if the speed's right. We'll work out those things as we work. So reset run. Oh no, he's way down there. How did he get way down at the bottom? Oh, look what I did. Silly me. I always get these things mixed up. All right. We're going to put him back at 200. And we're going to put him at 420 on our X. Boy, one of these days I'll figure it out. There he goes. I always got to catch myself. It didn't do what I wanted to do. I'm like, oh. But it was just getting the X and Y, those simple things. Every once in a while we catch ourselves making silly little bugs, right? No big deal. So our next one is this obstacle, right? Right there. There's our obstacle. And it's going to be the mushroom. So let's go ahead and call it obstacle. Get rid of sprite and put obstacle in there. 200, 200. I just want him to show up in the middle of the screen. Now he doesn't have an image yet, that animation set. So again, his name is obstacle. So we'll put that in there. We're going to give him an image of a mushroom. I'm going to hit reset run. There it is. Now, I'm pretty happy with him. He's on the screen, but I need to get him down to the ground. And I can see that my Y needs to go down to probably 352. Let's see what we put our frog at. Remember we put our frog at 320? Let's see what happens with this if we do 320. Reset run. I think that might work. We got to give our mushroom a velocity as well. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Remember, he's our obstacle. And we're going to give him, just like the fly, we did a -3. And it says you can set them the same. So it says create your 3 sprites. The obstacle and sprite should always move at the same speed. So we'll do that. There it goes. Nice. Now, funny thing, they won't come back yet, but I don't like him starting right on my player. So, same thing. I went to 420. I'm going to back this up a little bit. So instead of 420, I might go 430, just so they don't both pop on at the exact same. Well, they still kind of pop on at the same time. Let's go a little further. 450. There we go. I know they're not necessarily perfect, but we'll play with that later. So we got it going. Nice work. We're going to keep moving. It says player controls. Here we go. All right, player controls. The up arrow should make your player jump up. Well, that makes sense. It says there are 3 parts to jumping. Really? Jump up when a key is pressed. I think that's pretty obvious. Go down when you're high enough. Oh, we don't push an arrow. It's going to do it automatically. It's going to send us back down. And don't fall through the ground. Well, that would not be good, would it? So it tells us go down, find the code that says jumping. So we'll go find that comment that says jumping. Now, There it is, okay? It says add a conditional that checks whether the player has pressed the up key. So they've got this laid out, and it's important that we kind of pay attention to this, okay? If I look on here, it says if the player has reached the ground, stop moving. If the player presses the up arrow, start moving up. If the player reaches the top of the jump, start moving down. And it's important that we do this because we want our program checking to see if we've gone to the ground, okay? If we put them in different orders, we may end up falling through the ground. So I'm going to go ahead and start filling this in. All right, it says go to control. It says put an if statement in. Whoa, come on. There we go. If the player presses the up arrow, start moving. So if we want to go to world, key down, up, yep, that's the up arrow. We want it to do what? We want it to start moving up. Is that X or is that Y? That's Y. If I look at that, my Y is moving and it's counting down. So that's a negative. All right. We want our velocity Y to go down. I'm going to make it go down by like 5. And this isn't called sprite. This is our player we're talking about. So I'm going to hit reset. I'm going to hit the up arrow. There he goes. And he doesn't stop. Okay. Perfect. I like it. He's going up. Works good. Let's see what else they were telling us to do on here, shall we? Instructions. It says we did that. Okay. We tested it. It worked great. Add a conditional that uses the sprite's Y property to check whether it is high enough. If it is far enough up the screen, start the sprite moving back down and then test our code. All right, I think we can do that. Here we go. If the player reaches the top of the jump, start moving down. I can do that. Going into control, grabbing this if statement, putting it under there. And I said, if we get high enough, so we got to do a comparison. Do I want less than or greater than? Well, I'm starting here and I'm going up. My number is getting smaller, so that's less than. So if my number is less than, I'm going to say I want them to go about here. We're going to go to 60. If my player Y, you see how my Y is at 60 there? So less than, and I never remember these. If I hover, there it is. All right, I'm grabbing it. So if my sprite, right, is Y position, so player, because his name is player. So if my player.y is less than, I said 60, I want him to go back down. So I know I need to do a velocity of y. That's the up and down. And is it smaller or adding? I'm adding. See that? Counting up. So I'm going to do a +5, which is just 5. Oop, his name is not Sprite. That won't work. His name is Player. All right, here we go. I push the up arrow. He goes up. Oh, and he's coming back down. Perfect. But he went through the ground. We can fix that. I got this right here. If the player has reached the ground, stop moving down. Sounds easy. Let's look if the instructions help us at all. It says add a conditional, check whether sprite is low enough on the screen to be on the ground. If it is far enough down the screen, stop the sprite. Got it. Back into control. Another if statement, right? Put it in there. Now I'm not hitting any keys. It's another comparison. And we're going to do if the player is greater than or equal to. And I said our ground is at 320 for our frog. So if our player is greater than or equal to, and I pulled that equal to just in case he doesn't quite hit the number exactly. If we play with this a little bit, we might not hit our number. I guess if I just did greater than, it would be okay, but we're doing sprite.y because we're checking our y property. So if our player, and I said it was at what? I said 320. 320. Our velocity y should equal 0. Let's see if this works. Reset, run. Oh no, look what I did. I forgot to name our sprite. Player boy. All right, push up arrow. He's up. He's coming down and he stops. And he can go back up and come back down. So that's working. I've got him jumping. I'm happy with that. Let's go ahead and move on to level 5, looping. All right, let's see what's going on here. It says the obstacle, which is our mushroom, and the target, the fly, need to loop back to the right of the screen once they go too far. Well, yeah. You know, it's kind of a boring game if they go by one time and then nothing else happens, right? It says find the code comment that says looping. Jumping. Sprite interactions. There's our looping. Okay, it says add a conditional that uses the obstacle sprite X property to check whether it is moved off the screen. Got it. If it is moved off the screen, use the property X or use the X property to put it back on the right side of the screen. Let's do that. We're doing our obstacle first. So I'm going to grab that. I'm going to minimize this. We're working right in here. If the obstacle has gone off to the left hand of the side of the screen, we're going to move him back. All right, here we go. Grab it, drop our code in. Now, again, no arrow key here. We just want to see if our X position, and you can see it getting smaller, if it goes off, it's going to be less than 0, okay? So I need less than 0. Less than, there we go. So here we go. We're going to say if our, remember it said X property. Oh, what did I do? Put it in the wrong place. Put them right there. There we go. If our obstacles X property, oopsie, I got a mess. Let me take this thing apart. We're going to start over. I threw that out there, and so I just grabbed my less than sign again. We're going to go back into Sprite. We still want our X property, but I had put it up above, so we got that purple kind of color around it. And remember, this is our obstacle. I said less than 0, so I'm going to go less than, I'm going to go to a -10. Okay? And what's it say we want to do? Well, once it gets over there, I don't want to change its velocity. I want to change its X property. I want it to go back over on the other side. So we're going to grab sprite.x, and I'm going to put him over here. I'm going to put him at 420. 420. Now, I almost forgot. His name is not Sprite. It is Obstacle. Reset, run. And let's see what happens. Oh no, my obstacle is not moving. Why? If obstacles X put him at -10. Uh-oh. I don't want him at -10 or put him at 420. He's just staying at 420. He's not continuing to move. So let's see if they tell us what to do in this instructions. If it's moved off the screen, put it back on the right side of the screen. Test your code, see if it's looping. Well, mine's not moving, and I think I know why. See how I put my velocity up here? I put them up here, but I can also put them down in here. Let's see what happens now. Well, that is kind of messed up, isn't it? Didn't work. Let's try the next thing. Boy, what am I missing here? If it is moved off the screen, use the X property to put it back on the right side of the screen. Let's see if I did that. If player, oh no. You guys see what I did? If player.y is less than 60, that's what I got. Less than 60. Player velocity, y, oh, that's my player. There's where we go. All right, so if obstacles.x is less than 10, and that's a -10, right? So I'm way off the screen. But is that the less than operator? Oh, no. That's the greater than operator. I'm going to show you guys a way. Oops. I'm going to show you guys a way we can fix that. I'm going to go to show text. And we're going to change that. I just went into show text. I'm going to change it. And then I'm going to use my keyboard and put in the less than operator. Whew. Let's see. It's moving. That's the start. Goes across. Oh, it's working. Whew. I didn't know if we're going to figure that one out. All right, here we go. If the target has gone off the screen. So now we need to do the target. Same thing. Okay? Same thing. So I'm going to show you guys a way to make this easy. I'm just going to drag. Do you see how that kind of highlighted? I'm using my mouse and I'm highlighting this portion of text. And I can hit Control-C. And then I'm going to click down. You see how there's that little black there on the bottom? Right there. If I hit my arrow key, you can see it moving down. Right there's where I want it. And I'm going to hit Control-V. Now, here's the thing. It says obstacle, but we know this is our what? It's our target. And I just change the name. And I hit Reset Run. And they're moving. But I remember my target didn't have the exact same thing. So let's look at what I had for my target. My target was at 420. My obstacle was at 450. Oh, I got them backwards. We can fix that. That's going to go 450. Reset Run. There they go. And they're looping. Perfect. I'm very happy with it. It's looking good. Very nice game. Number 6. Sprite interactions. This is where it gets fun. Right now, I can kind of play my game. But guess what? Nothing happens if I touch the fly. And nothing happens if I touch the mushroom. So we're going to fix that. Okay, let's get that done. We look at our instructions. It says in the sample game, The obstacle, the mushroom, rotated and the health decreased when the player, which is the frog, touched it. The score increased and the target fly moved back to the right of the screen when the player, which is the frog, touched it. So it says, find the sprite interaction. We're going to do that. Create a conditional that checks whether the player sprite is touching the obstacle. Okay, we can do that. If they are touching, decrease the health and change the obstacle sprite in some way. All right, we can do that. All right, sprite interactions. They're up towards the top right here. All right, so we need an if, right? We said if the player touches the obstacle. So if we need that is touching. See that down in there? Sprite is touching. But we want our player. So if our player is touching the target, which we said is the target, we want what? Well, oh no, we're talking obstacle this time, not our target yet. Oopsie. See if I can get that to highlight. There we go. All right, there's our obstacle. Now, if player touches the obstacle, we want the health goes down and the obstacle turns. Okay, so if player is touching obstacle, we got to do variables, because if I check, we go down in here. Where are our variables? There it is. Health is a variable, okay? So we got to go in the variable. All right, so if player is touching our obstacle, we're going to do what? Well, we don't want to create a new one. Those are for creating new ones, right? We just want to change ours. So health is going to decrease. So we want to put this on a counter pattern, right? We don't want our health to just equal something each time. If I just put number 90 in there or -1, it'll just show -1. So if I do that, oops, I say I want my health to just equal -1. Then it gets the value of -1. You see how it went to -1? The game is set up to where if we hit 0, it goes to game over. If health is less than 0, we get our game over screen. So we want to use the counter pattern. We don't want to just put a number or value in here. We want our health to count down. So we need health equals health minus 1. And you can leave it without the space in there, or you can add your spaces. So here we go. Health equals health minus 1. We're going to test that now. Run. And we're going to let the mushroom hit us. And you can see my score did go down. And it's going down again. And it even went down so far that it was game over. So that's working. I'm good with that. But it also said we needed to see some interaction. Our mushroom needs to do something. And in theirs, it kind of tipped over. So if player is touching obstacle, we want our obstacle's rotation to turn a little bit. I'm going to say 10. Reset, run. Now, I'm going to show you something real quick. He falls over, but he doesn't come back up like they did. We're going to make it come back up, okay? Because I don't like seeing that mushroom fall over once and then nothing else happen. He's upright, he falls, and he doesn't change. So we're going to say else. And we're going to do sprite rotation, and we're just going to set it to 0. And it is our obstacle type. I just copy it and paste it, and we're going to put that at 0. Let's see if this works. It touches, it falls. I'm not touching it, it goes back straight. I like that. That's what they had. That works, so working. All right. Next step. Let's see what they had us do. We need to make the fly our target, okay? We need to increase our score, and we need to reset our fly back at the beginning. Got it. Right here. If player is touching target, the score goes up. So if, right here, if, what we got to do is touching, right? And we have our player. If our player is touching our target, and I'm not sure if I'll have to type this in or not. It already says target, so we're going to leave it for now and see if it works. We want it to do what? We want our score to go up. And remember, it's a variable also. So we go into variables, and we do the variable, and we're going to sign it. We're not creating a new one. Those two top ones create new variables. We've already got our score, right? I better check. Yep, we've already got a variable score. So we have score. And again, we got to do score, or we got to do the counter pattern. So we want our score to count up. Score, and I'm just going to do 1 when we touch it. So score equals score plus 1. All right, we're going to give her a try. Reset, run. Going to jump and touch the fly. I can't see my score, but it should be working. Let's see if they want us to put that score in there yet. All right. You may want to use watchers to keep track of your score and health. We could put watchers in there. Okay. We could do it with, I've got to get stuff off the screen, but we could do watchers over here on the side and watch those. I'm not going to do that because with the recording, I've got stuff that is down in the bottom of my screen. I don't know if you guys can see it, but that's what controls my videos down there. So I can't quite do what they're doing there. So we're just going to assume that it's working for now, okay? And we're going to go on to 7. All right, level 7, here we go. Right now, the health is displayed, but the score is not. Well, no duh. We just figured that out, right? Do this. Find the code comment scoreboard and read the code that makes the health information. So, add the code to create the scoreboard. Well, let's do that. It's way down here. Scoreboard. So they did a fill of black. They did a text size of 20. And they've got health on here twice. One says text, and it's got quotation marks, and it's got a capital H that says health with that semicolon. And then we've got this that says health. Now, these are two very different things. We know that if we created a variable with a capital H and one with a lowercase h, that they would be different variables. But that's not what's happening here. What's happening is when we use quotation marks around something, it tells the computer, print the words health, just like this. So if I hit run, see how it's got a capital H and the semicolon? And then when we do this, it's telling the computer to print our health, our variable health. So if I look up here, this is that word with the quotation marks, and this is my variable of health. Okay? That is what this one's doing. So we're going to do that for our score. All right. We've already got our fill of black. I'm happy with my score being black. And I'm happy with the text size of 20, so I'm not going to change those. But I am going to go into drawing. I'm going to go into text, and I'm going to put this on here. Now, it's got quotation marks. This is going to be the word score. And I did a capital just to help me in my mind keep them separated. So I'm going to hit reset run real quick. See where it's at. It's over here. It's not too bad. But I want it to be more level with what they have. So I'm going to look at what they used for their variables. Well, their x is way over, right? I don't need my x way over here. I want to look at where their y is. It's at 30. So if I put this at 30, now I'm going to come down with my score a little bit. And I'm not too upset with that. I do notice that I did not put a semicolon in there. So I think I want to do that. So if the word's highlighted, I've got to unhighlight it, and now I can add my semicolon. Okay. There's my score. And I can move it over if that's not what I want. If I move my x over by 10, now it's not right on the edge, and I'm okay with that. That looks pretty good. Okay. But I'm not seeing my score show up. So let's do that now. We need another text. Okay. Put that down below. Now this one, I'm going to click outside of everything, and I've got to get rid of those quotation marks because I want my variable score. The variable score, when they created it, they did lowercase. Okay, so it's lowercase score. So let's go down. I put in lowercase. Now, I know I want my y to be 30. That's where that's at. I don't know what I want my x to be, because if I put it right now you can see it's in front. Let's see if it counts up, though. Oh, yeah, there it's counting up. I like that, but I don't like where it's at. I want it to come over this way, so we're going to go, let's put it at 77. I'm going to do 75 just because I kind of like, you know, something that's not quite just a random number. So we're going to try this. I'm going to put 75. Just try it and see if I like it. Hey, that's not bad. I like that there. Let's see if I can jump. I jumped at the wrong time, but it's working. I'm happy. That looks good. Make sure we did everything they wanted. Did we? Add code to create a score. Oh, no, you know what we didn't do? Reset run. The last level, I didn't go back and check. We got to make the fly go back to the beginning. Let's do that. Can't believe I missed that. Player interaction. Okay, so here we go. If player is touching the target, our score goes up, but we want to reset our fly, which is our target. So in this same if statement, because we want both of these things to happen, I want my sprite, and it's my x that I want to move. So I'm going to do sprite.x, and this is target. So my target, I'm not doing counter pattern. We actually want it to just go back off the screen. So I'm going to put it at 450. If I could figure out where the 4 is, I put in 250 instead of 450. So here we go. Let's try it. There they go. I jump, grab my fly. Oh, yeah, I like that. He went off the screen. I get to grab him twice. That's how good I am. Oh, I missed him. Oh, I got him on that one. Not going to be a very good game. Okay. I don't catch him every time. Nice. I like it. Okay, it's working. I get a score. I get that. We know we get to the game over screen. So now let's see what they say. Level 8. It says, now that you've added all the features, it's time to play your game. Okay, do this, play your game a few times to check for bugs. We did that. It's working. Look over your project guide to make sure you have everything that's in. If you're doing this in my class, you will have a project guide. If you're just doing this for fun, you probably don't have a project guide, but it's just a way to lay out your ideas. And then it says make any last changes. Well, here's something that would kind of be fun. I want the game to get harder as I go. So maybe I want my mushroom to get faster. So I'm going to go down here. And when it says, I want where, that's where, okay, if our obstacle gets across the screen, our obstacle goes back, but also I'm going to increase its speed. So our velocity, and it's not a velocity y, it's our velocity x, okay? And we're dealing with our obstacle. I'm putting that in there. And it's going across, so that is a negative number, right? So we're going to do obstacles velocity equals, we're going to just do a counter pattern in here. But we want minus, because it's counting down. And we want our velocity x. So it's like a counter pattern. This is our obstacle. And we're going to make it do 1. So let's see if that works. So here it goes. I got to try and dodge this. I'm just going to worry about dodging and not worrying about catching it. Ooh, it is going a little faster. Do you see that? Sped up a little bit. It's going faster. Ooh, I touched it. Come on, frog. He's not jumping fast enough. Oh, there he goes. And again, I could watch my watchers and I could see that this mushroom is getting faster and faster. Ooh, I don't have to touch the ground all the way. I could cheat in this game. So I'm going to just cheat and keep my frog up at the top. We could fix that too, but look at that mushroom. He is definitely going faster. All right. Nice. I like it. Now, I don't like my fly always in the same place. That's kind of boring, right? So, let's do this. We're going to find where our fly resets. Okay, there's our target. This is where it resets. And it always goes to here, which I'm okay with that. But let's give our fly a random number for its y. Okay. So, target. And we want it to be a random number. That's math. And I want them to be able to go from the top of the screen. So we're going to say our y can be about 10. I don't want them to be off the screen. We might even go as low as like 20, just so I know he doesn't go off the screen. And we don't want him to go into the ground, right? He doesn't need to be under the ground. So we'll have him go maybe around, I like that 285. We'll do that. And we'll play it. Okay. Now, if I touch him, he's coming back in the same place. I could fix that with a random number in there, but you notice how he went up now? He's up higher. Kind of the same place, but that's okay. Oh, I'm touching him. That's why. All right. Don't touch him. Don't touch the mushroom either. There we go. We can see that he is moving. He's going so slow in that. There we go. See, he's at a different height now. But every time I touch him, he goes back to what he was. So we can fix that. Little bug. Not a bad bug, right? That's just a playability bug. It just makes it so it's more challenging. So what I'm looking for is when that interaction is touching. It was at the top of the screen, wasn't it? If player is touching obstacle, no. If player is touching target, all right. So then we want to put a Y on here as well. Sprite.y. This is our target. And we want it to go to a random number, just like we did before. And I don't remember what we put in there for our random number. I put 20 and 285. We can do the same. 20. Oops, go. 20 and 285. Try it. Reset, run. Now if I grab the fly and I miss him, all right, he's moving. And if I let him go by, he should, don't hit him. Oh, I touched him. All right, so he did change. Might not look like it, but he was a little lower. He's definitely lower this time. I'm just going to let that go by. Now I'm going to go up. There he goes. He moved a little bit. Ah, man. I could reset this to where, there we go. And obviously he moved up higher that time. Cool. So it's working. Now, here's the great thing about naming our variables the way we did. Because say I don't like being a frog. I can go in my animation. And I can go to add. And I can choose any other character, or I could go and draw my own character and stuff. This is kind of whatever we want. But say I'm more into the old video games, okay? And we're still doing a side scroller. So here we go. I'm going to do this battleship. That looks pretty cool. I like it. Done. So I clicked on it. It added it. Now here is another thing that's kind of cool. We can add frames. So I'm going to add another frame, but I don't want to do that. We're going to add, I just want to take him and duplicate him. So I got 2 frames there. They look exactly alike, but this is how it's going to change, okay? Let's see, I'm going to hit Control- on my screen to make it a little smaller so maybe I can get to my colors. So I'm going to grab this orange. And I am going to go in and I'm going to fill on my second. See how it's got that purple? I fill that to that orange. And I'm going to take my eyedropper and I'm going to grab my red color and I'm going to change this back part to red. And now, I'm not happy. I mean, it's pretty cool because I can see now, if I look, you can kind of see how that just changes there. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it. Looks like that fire is kind of moving. But I can also make these lights change. And I'm going to make them just change to this yellow. So I'm going to grab that. I'm going to grab my bucket again. And I'm just going to fill those. There we go. Now I look at it, and now it's got a little bit of color. You see how it's changing? Just a little bit something to make it look a little different. I could even put in some I already have orange. I'm going to grab the eyedropper. I'm going to grab that. And you know what? I don't know that I want to fill all that. That would be bad. That's eraser too, so that would be bad. Let's see if I can draw a rectangle here. There. All right. I'm happy with that. Now I'm going to go back to my code. And all of a sudden, instead of frog, I'm going to put space battle. Run. Oh boy. There he is. He's cool, but he's way too big. So we're going to fix that. Go to sprite. And we want to do our scale. So put that under here. Our player. Let's see. Now with this, I want it to be less than 1. So I could do 0.5. That makes it half the size it was. Oops. Not do, which is going to be better, but he's still a little big, right? I like how he moves across the screen. He looks so cool. I like that. But I think he's still a little big. Maybe not, but so I'm going to go a little smaller. Instead of 5, I'm going to go 3. Let's see how that looks. Oh, yeah. Yep. I think that's the size. All right. So here we go. I'm going to change what the fly looks like now. And I could change the background and everything, but I need to add something else. Now, the fly is what we're collecting. And, you know, I like that heart up there, but it isn't really adding to my score or to my life. It's adding to my score. I think I'm going to do, it says power up, but I think it kind of looks like a coin too. So I'm just going to add that. I could add where I could collect that and add to health. That'd be easy to code in. Whew, that'd be cool. Man, all these great ideas I'm coming to mind. I should stop this video, make that, and then share that with you guys, huh? I'm going to pause that. I'm going to change. Actually, I will help you guys with this part, and then I'm going to do a little bit of changing and show you guys what I got. So my target doesn't look like a fly anymore. It's going to look like this retro power-up coin. Whew, way too big, right? Remember scale, my target. So that is target. And I want this to be probably 0.01. That'll make it really small, probably too small. I'm going to do 0.05. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Pretty cool. There it is again. Go get it. Yeah. All right. I'm going to pause this. Okay. And I'll pause the video. I'm going to do some changing on this. And then you will be able to come back and I'll show it to you real quick. Okay. I've made a few changes to the game. Not a lot. Just more or less what they look like. But if you look, now I have kind of a space game. I've got this little coin. I've got a spaceship I'm trying to dodge. And I changed the color of the background. Instead of that blue, now it's black. I could have got rid of the ground, right? I don't need that. Could have made it gray to where it looks like I'm maybe on an alien planet or something. And my score, that's now red. I changed to where that hits. My health goes down, but maybe my ship should have changed colors or something a little bit when I hit, you know? Something like that. I'm not quite sure. But you can see with a couple of small changes, our game really does become something more that maybe I might want to play rather than something that Code.org had created, that little frog. So hope you enjoy what you've created and share it. Get out and share it with others. So that's all for now.